Humongous Jake here with my review of Busby's Revolution blaster. Now, what is the Revolution? This is a top prime, spring-powered, magazine-fed pistol that will accept, I'm going to go ahead and spoil it, will accept every brand of aftermarket or main name brand magazine or drum and every dart that's currently on the market in a standard full-length variety. Now, this one was provided to me by a viewer, subscriber, and one of my only two patrons, David Bolak, who picked this up where he lives and found it at a Ross store. And he actually only paid $7.99, still had the price tag on the box when I got it, so I'm glad he left it. He picked it up for $7.99 at Ross. Now another option, which I'm telling you these purchasing options now ahead of time because you are going to want to go get one of these. Spoiler alert, the thing's fantastic. But I will go ahead and do a full review for you. But you can also pick it up for $9.99 through Farm Fleet, which is a chain of stores in the northern Midwest in the Minnesota, Wisconsin area. But they do carry this on their website where they've expanded their toy offerings. And this blaster is one of the few that they make available for shipping across the country. And that's where I'm going to end up getting a couple more of these. Again, that's how much I love this thing. It's probably, let's really go into deep spoiler territory here. It's probably taken the crown as my absolute favorite all-time magazine-fed pistol. Yes, it is truly that good, and you'll see why here as I break it down. Now, again, what is it? Top prime, spring-powered, magazine-fed. That puts it right in the neighborhood of Busby's classic pistols like the Champion, the Reaper, the Night Attack, the Lightmaster, all of their magazine-fed pistols, and it also puts it square in a cousin, I'll call it, to the model 1902 that I recently reviewed out of the Adventure Force Arsenal pack available exclusively through Walmart. Now, to get that pistol, you have to buy the 2-pack. So, this as a standalone option is fantastic. And being under $10, I don't know how anybody's going to beat that, to be honest, in a magazine-fed Springer. Now, this is very simple. Now, I did just prime it before I started the video, so we're going to fire it. And I have tested it with every brand of dart. That was actually a Dart Zone waffle tip, the Adventure Force waffle tips. And I fired Workers, I fired Nerf's Elites, AccuStrikes, X-Shots, darts. I fired Busby's long distance, Precise Pros, Worker full lengths, everything. Everything that is made. I have put it through this and I have not had any problems, any jams, any issues, and I have found this thing to have very, very good performance. I don't know if mine is just doing really well, because there are manufacturing tolerance differences. With the included long distance darts, this is firing in the lower to middle 80s, and that is noticeable. For those of you who might watch this who aren't familiar with blasters overall, Nerf brand blasters, like say the Retaliator, which this takes a direct shot at, the Retaliator and the Recon Mark II and the Delta Trooper, those fire around 70 feet per second. Which means, in layman's terms, in a backyard, you're going to have to point it up to shoot across, say, 50, 60, 70 feet, which would be about their maximum effective range, and that would be angled up. This claims 100 feet. And without a doubt, it'll hit it. Now, I will publish a separate video on a range test to showcase how it performs with all the darts I've tested. And I will do that very soon, so stay tuned on the channel. However, I will put in a chronograph session here with about 20 shots over the chronograph to show you what I've experienced. And this thing fires hot. And it's almost Dart Zone level performance, which they're known for hitting 90 to 100 feet per second. With their flywheel powered blasters mostly. But this thing can get very close to that. And that's fantastic. Now, the one thing most of you will wonder if you're familiar with Busby blasters, how are the ergonomics? Well, for one, that grip. I have an XL to double XL size hand. And that's fitting. That fits nicely. And that top prime is actually very comfortable. Wrap your hand around it. It's smooth, doesn't have any sharp edges. You know, there's nothing there that's going to dig into your palm if you do it multiple times, but it's also grippy enough your hand's not going to slip and slide around on it. So very nice and very ergonomic. A vast improvement over something like what I actually liked was the Adventure Force Night Attack or Busby's own Lightmaster. I really loved the overall pistol with those two, but the grip was a little thin and small. This has a very good profile to it, and those grooves fit good enough. I will say not perfectly, but they fit good enough. With my fingers, I do end up resting a little bit on the ridges, but I think that the grip will be accommodating to all sizes, because with my hand being on the larger end, I'll give a little bit, because for somebody on the smaller side of things, and I don't mean like necessarily a kid, I just mean like somebody who has smaller hands, they're going to find that to probably be perfect for them. And otherwise, I mean, the trigger well, smooth, the trigger pull is good, far better than most Nerf trigger pulls. The Retaliator, for one, is known for a very sloppy trigger. This is clean and crisp, whether unprimed or primed. A very crisp trigger, and I like that quite a lot. It does have one top rail for any kind of optics you might want to put on there, or a flashlight. Say if you've got, let me dig around over here. If you've got one of the lights from the Lightmaster or Night Attack, they will work on there. And then turn that on, flash the camera a little bit. You can mount any Busby type attachments. So very nice that they included it. And does even have a little post for manual aiming if you don't have a attachment mounted. Now, it does come with the one 8-round magazine, and it does have the attachments for other magazines so that you can click it in and pull off crazy stuff like this. So we'll do that, slide it back in, and by the way, yes, that does work. That'd be a lot to run around with, but it does work. So pull this off, and like I said, it is fully compatible with every brand of magazine and drums even, as I showcase a 35-round Nerf drum. And yes, it works just fine. It primes, it fires, there's no feeding issues of any kind. So 100% complete cross-compatibility. And I'll even show, here's a worker 22-round magazine that I have loaded, and we're going to do a quick chronograph session to showcase what this can actually do. Okay, here we are. I will also call out the shots because I know that that angle may be a little iffy on being able to see it, so I will call it out. We're going to start with a couple of waffle tips that I bought from NF Strike. They read a little low. This is on the 73. 81.1. Now we're moving on to AccuStrike copies from NF Strike. The first one was at 105.7. 95. Didn't read. 90.8. 112.1. 76.8. 93.9. 77.6. 74.1. 92. That was our first Busby long distance at 87.4. 85. 82.2. 87.7. 88.7. Now we should be on to Precise Pros. Okay, 310's not accurate. That's going to be an error. 115.5. 115. 121.5, 111.7, and it read 21 shots with the one that didn't read. Coming back after showing you that chronograph test session, you're seeing a little bit of what I've been experiencing in my testing here. Firing hundreds of shots over that chronograph has revealed basically a broad picture of what you've seen a small sample of. The fact is, this revolution, and again, I don't know if mine is just performing really well, or if this is what you're going to expect from every single one of them. Knowing what to expect from Busby over multiple years of me personally using them, mag-fed springers from them fire in the 80s, generally. That's very much an expectation you can have. They're going to outperform Nerf by 10 to 15 feet per second, with Nerf standard being 70. Busby standard being closer to 80 to 85. This is firing more in the 85, 90, 95 range, which, if that's what I can expect out of a Revolution, then quite simply, this is the best blaster under $20, bar none. And I don't say that lightly, because I speak as if I'm going to be buying more of them with my own money. That's how I recommend blasters. Well, I put my own money down on them. And a lot of us have to work hard for our money, so you shouldn't take it lightly if you're reviewing something and recommending it, and I don't. This thing, for 10 bucks, beats all kinds of blasters that are out there for far more expensive. And with the modability, if you are a tinkerer, the fact that you can pull this apart, yes, it does have a solvent welded front piece here, but the rest of it looks like it's just your typical shell. It's actually, while talking about the shell, much better quality than a lot of things in the market right now. And I don't know if this is a whole different molding than, say, like the Frantic Fury that I got that was kind of flexy and a little creaky. This feels thick, like thick plastic. It's basically, this is every bit as good a construction as Nerf, X-Shot, or anything Dart Zone's put out. It's completely comparable to all of its competition, if not a little better. Because this felt thick. It's got individual little pieces here, here, and here. They'll be great if you're into painting like I am. I like to customize my blasters. This one's going to stay like this. I do want to get a couple more though and experiment with some really neat paint jobs, including it has these little divots along the barrel here. Coming close on that. And these little divots are just begging. They're absolutely begging to be drilled out and have some LED lights put in the shelf for a nice little glow coming out of there. Something I definitely want to do at some point. But I think Busby's hit this is a basis loaded Grand Slam. A high 80s to low 90s feet per second Springer for under 10 bucks. That comes with a magazine that has the attachment points to do a flip mag, and has a top rail, has better ergonomics than their previous blasters, and my personal opinion completely, this thing looks good. I mean, it genuinely looks good. Even my wife commented on that. When she seen me take this out of the package, she said, "That thing looks nice." She goes, "That looks like something Nerf would make." And that's a complete compliment, because for all of the things I say about Nerf, they do make very nice looking blasters. And Busby nailed it with this one. This thing looks good, it performs well, it has good ergonomics, and one heck of a price. I mean, how can you beat $7.99 or $9.99 with something like this? That is basically the best value in all of mag-fed spring-powered blasters on the market right now, bar none. The best spring-powered blaster on the market for the money. That's going to be my recommendation and my full review of Busby's Revolution. Check it out in Farm Fleet's website. I'll put that link in the description below, or if you have a Ross store near you, stop in, see if they've got them on the shelves. That's the only places so far that I know you can get them. But if you stuck all the way to the end, I do appreciate you watching the video completely, and I do hope you enjoyed it. So thanks for watching.